Hello everybody, it's Catherine. So welcome to Tuesday Sewing, and I thought we'd do something a little different. I thought we'd have a little break from, we're doing this cover for my edging journal, different edgings, so that's coming along nicely. But I needed to make some Suffolk puffs for my Halloween journals. I just thought it'd be something a little bit different to put in them, and I got plenty of black material left. Oh, excuse me, I always start getting a frog in my throat when I start filming. So I thought we'd have a go at these and have a bit of a chat. So welcome to everybody that's come over from Tracie's channel. So I'm all excited. Tracie Fox, the lovely Tracie, has offered me a place on her design team. There's 5 of us that are new, and she's done the announcement video this morning. So already there's quite a few people come over to see what we do here. So thank you so much. I am really grateful for you coming and subscribing, and welcome to our little group. Many of us have been here from the very beginning. Well, I have, haven't I? That was a silly thing to say. I've been here from the beginning because I've been doing it. Yeah, right. It is early on a Tuesday morning, guys. And yes, lots of lovely people on here. We've all made some lovely friends, and as I say, most people have been here. Once they've subscribed, they're here joining in. So welcome to everybody. I am so excited about this, and quite unexpected really. I applied when Tracie put out the call for people to apply, and I know she said it was extremely difficult, her and her team. They initially wanted 4 people, and they have decided to have 5, and yeah, thank you, I'm one of them. So let's hope that I can do her proud. So today, enough rabbiting on about that, I've got a big smile on my face, can you tell? Right, okay, Suffolk puffs then, guys. I have done these before, but for anybody that's new and also new to the channel, I love to incorporate some sort of stitch, some sort of textile into my projects, because that's sort of something that I really love doing, and a bit of a background in it. So I always like to see what we could put in there just to give it a bit of a textile edge. So I do have a Sizzix Big Shot. I've had it a long time, and it cuts out things for card making, etc. It cuts out things for journals, but also you can get the fabric cut accessories for it, and I have got a circular one. I've got some hexagon ones for when I do my hexes, and the circular one I just find very useful. So much easier than trying to draw around. I used to draw around plates and stuff, and you know, they come out a bit neater. So I had got some black cotton. These are all cottons. I've got some black cotton left over from other projects. I have got, for those of you that were with me for doing the my Japanese journal, which actually was one of Tracie's kits, Japanese kits. I got this lovely sashiko patterned fabric from the Japan shop, and I just got some other black. So I thought we would make a few of these to go in the Halloween journal. I've got some threads That's the nearest. Oh, no, I've got to. I thought that was the only red thread in Perlay, but actually I've just spotted that in my bag. Just spotted that. That'd be better. Yeah, now I've untangled all the orange. I may do some French knots in the middle or something. Okay, so this week we're not having the pick jar. So the pick jar, for people that haven't seen it before, please send in suggestions. It's a way really of you being able to interact with what I'm doing on Tuesday Sewings. We did it last year for December dailies as well, where, you know, everybody watching all sent suggestions. Excuse me. And every day I picked out of the suggestion jar, so there was a little bit of a surprise every day of what I got to add to the page. And we do something very similar with the Tuesday Sewing. And please, you know, send in suggestions, either comment down below or send via email, of things you'd like to see added to any of my Tuesday Sewing projects. And they don't have to be, you know, they can be stitches, they can be colours, they could be objects, anything really. Add a bird, add a butterfly, you know, put some paint on it, or whatever, all sorts of different ones. So if you'd like to participate with some suggestions, then please, the more the merrier. And every week at the minute I'm just picking one out. I did do two, some projects I did two, but I'm just picking one a week to add to my work. And it's good fun. And especially when we did December dailies. Oh, it was just what we needed. I think there were a lot of people in lockdown and we just needed that fun element. And yeah, and you'll come to learn that my drawing leaves a lot to be desired. So yes, right, it's probably a little difficult to see on the black. I have got a video of making Suffolk puffs that I will try and find and put in the cards below. I like to start by coming through to, and I've done that wrong now, turn it round. It's going to be bunched up this way. So really you want your pattern, if you've got a one directional fabric, you want your pattern on the outside. You know, you don't really want it off, not showing very well. And I tend to like to get how I pull them in at the end, is pull your needle through from the outside to the middle. It will disappear when we scrunch it all up, we can hide that. And then basically you're just going to take quite even running stitches along the outside of your circle. Now depending, let me have a look at these are pretty flat. Depending on the look that you want, depends on how near to the edge. Generally speaking, I do about, let's have a look in millimetres, because it will be, it's about 5 millimetres in from the edge to get the basic Suffolk puff and to get some sort of pattern in there. Now if for example you wanted it to look like a flower that has got that has loads of stamens in the middle, and you want all tufty roughy bits in the middle, then you would do that. And I'll do one for you to show. You would do it much further in, so that when it's gathered you will have more ruffles in the middle. It depends just what look you want. And then as to how tight you pull it, if you want it to be really a real tight one, if you're not thinking of putting anything in the middle, then you pull it really tight. But you can pull it looser so that you've got a hole in the middle there. So it may be that you want to stuff another fabric inside there and put some sewing in there, some French knots. I did have, that'd be a good idea for Halloween. I had some Evil Eye fabric. I'll have a look, see if I've got a bit of that. Let that be good, wouldn't it? We'll put a bit of a evil eye in the middle. I'm not very good at doing I'm not very good at doing the animations, or you know, it sounded more like a pirate, didn't it, really, than a Dracula then. But these are something that you can, you know, you can make and have in your stash, and do them in all sorts of colourways. It's a good way to use up some scraps of fabric, and you know, it's quite nice just to sit and watch. It's one of those mindless things that you can watch TV, can't you, and make a load of these for your stash at the same time. So use a fairly longish needle so that you can, you know, you can do a few stitches at a time, really. You don't want a really long needle. For example, I stab myself too much if I do. I've got a really long one here that I'm using on this project, this cover, but with the circle, you know, you stab yourself more times and it's harder to get round the circle. So sort of a medium shaft needle really is good. I'll put that back in there. I don't think that's long finished. It's long before I finish it, actually. So black is not the easiest to see, is it? But I needed to do these for my Halloween journal. Now, I did a flip through yesterday of the first one. The weekend. I was having so much fun doing these Halloween journals that I finished one altogether. I was only supposed to be starting it, and I got carried away and finished one and started. I'll give you a sneaky peek of the one we're going to be working on Thursday. Okay, so we've got to the end again, and you just want to be very careful in how you're gathering them. You can gather them as you're going along. Sometimes I do. Too busy talking, so I didn't. I always put a double knot in the end, because it's very easy for it to all come undone when you're pulling. I've done that many a time. You pull and the thread comes out the other end. So annoying. So I tend to put double knots in it. It's only normal sewing machine cotton, acrylic, polyester, is it? Polyester, yeah, polyester cotton for the sewing machine. And because you don't really want this to be seen, unless you want to use a really, you know, say you wanted a part of your design, you just wanted a pop of another colour in a really thick thread coming through. So you just pull it. You have to do a bit of fiddling with it. Cotton is especially good for doing these because it does pull nicely and it does give you the lovely ruffle effect that you're wanting. But I have done them with other things. They look really pretty in chiffon, but oh goodness, they're a bit of a nightmare to do. So pull it until you're happy with it, and then I do a holding stitch by going down through to the back. Now, if we were going to be putting this onto a project, so my needle case here, so say I was going to put it onto this project, I will do a couple of holding stitches, and then what I actually do is I then take it through, right through and to the back of what I'm making, to then be able to anchor it down. So sometimes I would anchor it down by doing loads of stitches in the middle, Or what I would do is then anchor it down by doing some little stab stitches just on the edges of your actual circle, and then that's I've just seen some, these are what I mean about the nightmare ones, because they fray terribly, but these are first got into junk journaling because I wanted to make some memory journals when I lost my mum, and I tried to make different things with all her scarves. She had loads of scarves, and this is just one particular scarf, and these are some that I haven't used. I don't want to part with them really, so I just pin them to my needle case. But you can see they are fiddly to work with because of how delicate they are really. So yeah, so this one I'm just going to finish off now, and I'm just going to finish it off and tie a knot. Try and pick, it's a lot easier if you pick something that is the colour of the fabric, because then it's so can you see I've left that with a little bit of a middle to it. Right, let's see if we can do a roughy tufty one, and I'll pick a plain one actually. We'll just have a plain black and see. Could have done with giving some of these a bit of an iron. That's fairly flat. Okay, so I hope you're all doing well. It's definitely starting to turn very autumnal now here. Right, okay, I'm going to go further in. So that is about 10 centimetres, I'd say now. Yeah. And we're going to go round just this, oops, I stabbed myself there. Just the same, go round in your normal running stitch. But we're going to be further in because I want more of a ruffled effect in the middle. So you can see they don't take too long to do. Karina, I hope you're okay, my lovely. I know Karina's not been so well lately, and Karina's been here from the beginning, and I hope you're okay. We've not heard from you in a while, and I just want to check you're okay. So anything else to tell you? Nelson's doing okay now. He's been discharged from the vets after having his gum surgery, and he's woofing all right, you know. He's not lost his voice from it. He's still quite vocal, so I think he's feeling better again. Right, okay, so we just gently pull and gather round. Okay, let's just pull it till I'm happy with the middle tufts. So I'm just going to sorry why I fiddle. Just going to, can you see all those? Let's take my needle to the back to anchor it. Sometimes it just takes a bit of fiddling with to position it. And then you have, let me get rid of this bit of a thread from where we started. We don't need all that. And if you're not going to see the back, you know, doesn't matter if you finish it off on the back. I think there's just something I really like in a project. I think they just look, they just give it a little bit something extra. Right, let me cut that off and then I'll show you. Okay, so you can see that this one, as opposed to that, because we've sewn further in from the edge, you've got all this roughy tufty in the middle, you know. And if you want, you could, as long as you don't snip your stitches, if you want it a bit more roughy tufty looking, a bit more, I did ought to use my best sewing scissors, didn't I? My little embroidery scissors. You can have a little snipperoo in there, fluff it up a bit more. So you can cut into it if you like, so that you've got, you know, you can flatten it out a bit more and sew into it, or you can just, you know, just rough it up a bit, and it just gives another dimension, doesn't it? So that's that one, that sort. And that's all there is to it, really. Same with getting some hexes ready prepared. They're great just to add in a journal, and they're not too, if you do the flat ones, you know, they're not too bulky, because sometimes, you know, we end up, you know what I'm like, we end up getting carried away with stuff in journals. But these are quite nice and flat, so they don't add loads and loads of bulk, really. Right, what else shall we do? We'll do another plain one. There we go, we'll do another plain. So let me know what projects you're working on, and for everybody that's new, please, you know, feel free to comment down below. I love it. I answer everybody's comments, and I really enjoy that part of it. And let me know what you're working on at the moment, or if you know, you're new to doing any sort of sewing, you know, that you're more of a paper crafter, but you'd like to start putting a few more sewn elements in your journals, then yeah, let me know, and I can always point you in the right direction for some of the videos I've already done, or, you know, other people. The lovely Carol from Oak House Journals, she's doing a lot of stitching these days. She's making like a family heirloom journal, and she's doing some lovely things. And so if you don't know Carol, go and check her out at Oak House Journals. Right, so it's a matter of, best thing ever got, this felt mat, really, for doing things like this. And it also tries to keep me in discreet mind. You probably just got top of my head that definitely needs some colour putting on it. Oh, with the current situation, I've not had it coloured. I've let it, you know, because sometimes it does our hair good, doesn't it? Not have any colourants and things in it. Oh, but I feel drab. So I'm going to have to try and get something done with it. So I've got this habit of leaning over my work, so sorry if you've just got my head in the way. Don't they look pretty? I think in the plain black you can really see the patterning, how nice you can see the patterning on. It doesn't get lost in the pattern in the fabric, so that's nice. Let's I'll just do this one and then I'll see perhaps where I'll bring my journal in that we're going to be working on Thursday. And see perhaps where it might fit. Okay, now that's a bit not very central, is it? It's better. There we go. So here it is. Oh, I can quite fancy putting one of them in there straight away. Or down there, I think I do like it down there. Can you see how it just, you know, just adds a bit of something extra? In fact, I'm going to put that on. I'm going to put it on now. So that's hot off the press, isn't it? And just been sewn. Okay, and I'll hold that down a minute while I'm talking. So this one, the other one I did was soft journal. The one I showed yesterday was a soft cover. This one is a hard cover with 2 signatures in this one. This is Mrs. I just love her. I think she's so glam. This is Mrs. Frankenstein. I think she's an actress really who played her. You know, one of the black and white adaptations, and I just love that image. So this is using the new Gothic Halloween digital that my David's done, and I love her. I love it. This is some Amazon packaging. So again, it's got some of this. That's where I've got, this is the Sashiko pattern that I used on Tracie's Japanese kit. And I just thought it went nicely with this. So I haven't done anything down the spine. I think I might do a dangle there. And then on the back I've just done a bit of a collage, ghost and ghouls and some blood and stuff. And I shall put a bit of Mod Podge matte medium on that just to secure that, make that safe. And then this is some lovely lace-sided moustache. So this is the sneak peek ready for Thursday. We're going to be working on it. Although I've got carried away and done quite a bit already. I love this one. Look at this. Look at him. And this got a pocket in here. And we're very lucky. And I probably said this in the flip through yesterday. But if you didn't catch that, we are very lucky. I live in Scarborough, which is a coastal town in the northeast of England. And we are very lucky that just further up the coast from us is Whitby. Now Whitby is the home of Dracula, and it's the place where Bram Stoker wrote Dracula, most of it, and was inspired by many things in Whitby, and especially Whitby Abbey. It's very imposing as Whitby Abbey. It's really high up. I think that's set now. It's really high up, and you can see it for miles around, and it's very Gothic. It's very atmospheric. Where have I put my cotton? Oh, it's here. Very atmospheric, and oh, they even have got goth hotels and things, so you know, people that like to get dressed up in gothic costume, steampunk costume, they have a couple of big festivals, and it is fantastic to go when it's festival time. Everybody, you know, there's even people that have bought old hearses, which I don't know if you have hearses in the rest of the world, but in the UK the hearses are the funeral cars, and they have glass all the way around so people can view the coffin inside. And some people have like bought them and done them up and turned them into like holiday, like, you know, what they take all over camping with them. It's really great to see it. And the costumes, the costumes are fabulous. David and I were we did, when we came to Scarborough, and we semi-retired, right, me from nursing and David from civil engineering, and we did then go and get a bar license, and we used to go and run some of the bars in the area, you know, as an agency basis. We really loved it. And the pavilion at Whitby it's got a fantastic space there for holding these sorts of events. And obviously every October, I think it's about I think it will be the nearest weekend to the last of October, to Halloween night. And it was amazing experience. We loved it. There were 9 bars, so we sort of managed the 9 bars. There were loads of staff, you know, because I think there was about 3,000 people generally come to get tickets for these events. And oh, fabulous fun. Absolutely. The amazing outfits. And, you know, not all youngsters, there were all age groups there, really getting into the spirit of it. So if you ever do have a chance to, if you're ever visiting the UK and say you're here in October, they have a big steampunk one as well in April. Whitby's a fantastic place to visit anyway. There's a lot of history there, and often you can go on the Endeavour. Sometimes the original Endeavour is moored up in Whitby and you can go around it, and that's fabulous. I remember taking the boys when they were younger with my mum. It's very small inside. I mean, I'm only 5'4", and I was sort of having to duck in some places. But how amazing to actually say you've been on it. So there's a lot to do with Captain Cook and stuff like that all around the area. And yeah, really good place to come. Yeah, I'm loving these. I don't think I've ever made them in black before, do you know? And I think they are nice. I think they sort of make a nice change. So I'll just do one more, and then I think we'll put a few French knots in one. So it's surprising, you know, 1, 2, 3, you know, just over half an hour you can make quite a few. The hardest bit really is getting your circles. I mean, yeah, it's easy enough to draw around a plate and cut out, but if you do have a Sizzix machine, I think it's well worth you investing in the circle, the big circle. I think they're the big lits. So you have the thin lits, which like you can really, there's a lot of Tim Holt stuff is thin lits, delicate flowers, you can cut out a card and such like. But I think these are the big lits because they're quite they're quite thick so that they can get the cutting blades inside the template. But you can use, you know, they're useful for lots of things. You can cut card as well, so if you want circles on there. I tend not to because I use it a lot for fabric, and obviously I don't want to blunt the blades too early. Okay, so we'll just gather those in. There we go. Just to tie that off. Oops. Okay, right, shall we choose one of these and do a few French knots? I'm just thinking if this eye is going to be big enough. Have I got another? They're tapestry needles. What have I got under this? Nothing. That's a tapestry. We'll see if I can thread it on here. If not, I'll have to go and get one out of my cupboard. Right, this perlay is it's not an easy one to, because it's always, the two ends are tied like this, and they are then difficult to get out. I'm supposed to get the middle one, but you can't tell which the middle one is when they're like this. See if that one works. No. Okay, I'll just unravel some, sort that out later. There we go. I don't want to take the other label off because it all then becomes a mosh. It all becomes all heaped up, doesn't it? There we go. That'll do us. Now then, I think this is going to be, it is going to be too small, I can tell now. Let me just, no, I've got needles in there. Oh, look. They're my bigger ones. They're the long ones. See what we've got in that selection anyway. These are actually my beading needles, I think they are. Right, what we got here, these are better, my Sashikos. Okay, let me put that in here before I stab myself. Okay. Oops, I'm falling off my mat. Use my needle thread a bit quicker. Sorry, being quiet, guys. I am doesn't like doing it that side, does it? No, it's plain silly devils because all these new people are coming. You've had those where I think you're then a bit anxious and thinking, oh, I hope they like what we do and what have you, and then nothing threads. Right, okay. That's it. There we go. We've done it. Okay, so just do a few French knots in the middle just to give you an idea, and then I think we better call it a video. So come through, wrap it round. Really, you should only wrap it one or two. If you want it, push it right down. And it's going through the knot, look, that's why it's... Okay, so you just, let me do one on the edge here. You come up, okay, this is quite thick, this perlé, so you might only want to do one, or usually one or two. If I put my fabric, my needle in, I take my knots right down to the edge, hold on to this string, so if you're left-handed, it's the other way, you hold on to the string, the thread, and slowly pull it till your knots are there. You often have to do loads of them for them to be impactful. You can wrap them round loads of times, but you shouldn't, you know, the purists that do French knots don't. Sometimes they only will wrap them around once. You pull it down so your knot is right at the where you're about to go in. Put your needle back in just to the side of where you came through, and hold on to the floss until you pull it through like that. Excuse me, I'll have a slurp of my Ribena. Okay, up through you. Hold your needle up, wrap round once, twice. Put your needle back in as near to where you came through. Pull your points down to the bottom where you're about to go through your fabric. Hold on to your floss, your thread, or floss as they call it in the States, I think, and pull through, and there you've got a knot. Just do a couple more, so 1, 2. Put your needle back down, hold on to the thread on you so it doesn't start getting tangled up with your knots, and then just pull it, and there you have your knot. So you can see that it's starting to look like the centre of a flower here. Now you have to do quite a few for it to be really effective. You know, just one or two are not really going to show that great, are they? So you know, do plenty. And I'm using the perlé because it is a nice bit thicker, and it does give off a bit of a nice sheen. You can use the stranded cottons as well, and leave more, you know, perhaps do them at 4 or 6 to get a better thickness. But the rule of thumb is don't keep wrapping round and round and round. If you want to think a thicker, chunkier... I'm losing my voice today. If you want a thicker, chunkier effect, then really go up in the level of the number of strands or the thickness of your thread, rather than wrapping it round. There are other stitches, for example, bullion knots and sizzle stitch, where you wrap round loads and loads, but generally speaking, French knots, no, one or two. I think I better go. I'm losing my voice. I've got a tickle in my throat. Okay then, guys, so thank you so much for joining me today for Tuesday Sewing, and much love to you all. Thank you so much to my lovely subscribers that have been here a long while, and a big thank you as well to anybody new that's joining in. You're so very, very welcome, and David and I really appreciate it. So stay safe out there, and I'll see you next video. Bye.